Arizona Cardinals defensive secondary at full strength, potentially. Running game, far from it. Who's in, who's out as the Arizona Cardinals? Could they play trap game masters against the Jags, Johnny?
Plus, Bo and I are going to break down where things stand with the 2026 NFL Draft. The Cardinals are picking 10th. Are they poised to move up? PHNX Cardinals on a Football Friday starts now. Hey, welcome in. From Studio K, presented by our friends at Circle K. It's the PHNX Cardinals podcast, your premier #1 in the world Arizona Cardinal podcast. Like and subscribe. Leave us a 5-star wherever you get your programming. I'm Johnny Venerable. That's Bo Brack in Studio K. Noah Man behind the mic today. Of course, we're fired up game preview style. Arizona Cardinals. They had full strength, Bo. We're going to break it all down.
Yeah, it could be in the secondary. We'll get into that. T. Cleary. How about Jack? Brian, top, top G jumping in, hitting and hold the line all day, every day. The supporters, they're live in the chat. Love to see them. Become a supporter today. Hit that like button, subscribe. Did your drink go flying, Johnny?
Yeah. So doing the live intro, I'm going to take a photo of my shorts and my lower half. I spilled water with electrolytes all over me during the intro. It's all over my workstation, but we will soldier on here. I will share the photo. But why don't you share your insights of what went down in Tempe today?
I will. Absolutely. I'll also tell our friends that this episode of PHNX Cardinals is brought to you by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app today. Use the code PHNX365. Deposit $10. Bet for $5. You get $150 in bonus bets. How could you lose all those electrolytes in this economy? Oh, man. Johnny, say some prayers for our guy and his fallen electrolytes today.
It's just the Cardinals are fumbling the bag. I'm fumbling the bag this season. Everything was in front of this team. Everything was in front of me. And I was demercado on the 1 yard line, just fumbling all over myself. My socks are wet
last week.
My underwear is wet. My skivvies are wet. I need Mac Weldon. There's water everywhere. There's ice everywhere. I just sent my wife a text and I go, I need a towel. And she goes, grow up, ? And it's like, it's because I wore my Fantastic Four t-shirt today. Yeah. I thought, let's have some fun. It's almost a holiday week. This team stinks, right? We're going to break it all down. And look what I get. Now just a reminder. No good can come of this. She's bringing me a towel now.
I want to be straight up with you. I mean, like this photo that you've sent us is not safe for work type photo. So you want to share with the audience?
Something peeking there? What's going on? Those are my shorts. I don't see anything. Just look like I peed myself.
Yeah, I mean, it's just isolated Johnny crotchal region. But we're gonna keep it family friendly here, and yes, we're gonna get into what went down. All those electrolytes. We're gonna get down to what went down in Tempe today. So yesterday, as we were off, it was a nice little sight for sore eyes. Will Johnson returned to the practice field after dealing with hip and back issues. That's what shows up on the injury report.
Yeah.
Will Johnson practiced today. That makes back-to-back practices for the rookie cornerback. So could they be at full strength in the secondary? That would certainly give them a boost. Johnny, you said this after the Dallas game, like with Will Johnson, Garrett Williams, Max Melton, Walter Nolan in the lineup. Cardinals pretty good on defense, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's their best, what do you call it, threesome? They're undefeated with when all of them play together. The problem is they haven't played together all season consistently enough. Right when Garrett Williams came back, Will Johnson got hurt. There's this video circulating. I don't know if you've seen this on Twitter
Yeah.
of Tyler Guyton,
Mm-hmm.
tackle for the Cowboys. By the way, nice guy, nice prospect. I remember coming out of Oklahoma, Bo. You got like chummy with him at the Senior Bowl.
Sure.
And
I'm done with him now.
Oakley, your buddies. Fell into the 20s for the Cowboys and has been kind of up and down. And there's this video of Tyler Guyton basically like cheap shotting Will Johnson, like well after the whistle, beyond where the ball is.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like connecting the dots of like, oh, that's where Will Johnson got hurt, which I would say, number one, I agree with that. And number two, for the people like Will Johnson is injury prone, watch this video and judge for yourself. This is like a fluke cheap play. His ass probably should have been fined for it. And so exciting for Will Johnson to come back potentially after 2 weeks because he is their best corner. And we're trending toward he and Walter Noland being their two best players defensively. Like I've conditioned myself that whether it's the end of this year or at the beginning of next year, the first two picks of this draft are the best two. We're transitioning to a position in which Budda Baker has clearly lost a step. I don't think that can be argued. I love Budda. Clearly lost a step. Mac Wilson's out. Sweat's good, right? I don't want to say Josh Sweat is dominant. Walter Nolan and Will Johnson are going to be the best two players on this defense. They need them to play in a stretch of 7 games where a lot of people feel like the season is lost already.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's you want to see them for development. You want to see just better play. You want to see this defense under a defensive head coach find success. It was Will Johnson that posted the clip. Will Johnson himself took his own Twitter account and added the NFL and said, this is how we play football now. And it's, he's well away from the play. Guyton pulls him all the way near the sideline. This is like 15 yards away from where the ball carrier is. And then it's just a little extracurricular activity where he pulled him on the ground. I can only assume that that's where these issues stemmed from. So, and like what we've seen as far as this organization, players having to maybe sometimes fend for themselves when they're labeled with injury, insinuations, like they can't get on the field like BJ Ojulari. I think Will Johnson kind of going to defense of himself, like, hey, I know I battle injuries, but like if I'm going to get cheap shotted, some guys you're just going to be out, and it's unfortunate. He's missed back-to-back games. Can you get back to some sort of semblance of that defense that we witnessed on Monday night with the return? It looks like all systems go for Max Melton and Garrett Williams. I know he has an ankle, and Will Johnson coming back, and Walter Nolan now going into a fourth consecutive game as a professional. I think that just bodes well if you're looking for them to get back on track.
Bo, we're being asked by Owen to show the clip. I don't know. Can we send that to Noah?
We can't show during our live show. We're not allowed to play any NFL footage. Here, I'll just hit this retweet and you can go check Bo Brack, or we could tweet it with the PHNX _Cardinals.
Yeah, don't follow Bo. Just follow me. Can I just do something real quick? I don't want to take people out of the show, the movie magic here. Can I just wipe off my screen here?
Yeah.
The electrolytes. I promise to be better, folks. It's like I'm really excited about today's show. I was like super early, and I was talking to the fellas, and we were having.
You're the Cardinals, man. Like you kind of blew it right out of the gates.
It's like immediate 98-yard kick return.
It was a big Friday show, and then you launch electrolytes all over yourself.
Just trying to be hydrated. I got my Fantastic Four t-shirt on, and I was going to say it's clobbering time, and I had this whole bit going on. And then it was a huge mistake. All right, let's talk injury report. So Will Johnson poised to play. Look good in practice.
Let's show the clips. So there's two different situations going on. First, you're going to see Trey Benson, who was ruled out today. And you'll kind of see why. This is him just kind of limbering up, getting ready. But for the most part, like he's been with his position group, but he's also not really like the rest of the guys are practicing here. There's him and a coach. It's just like Benson's just kind of off to the side, but Will Johnson's fully entrenched in DB practice. Like it's Max Melton will go, and then Will Johnson will go, and they're back in their normal rotation. So it just looks like all systems go for
Will looks great.
will. And then for Trey Benson, it's just going to take a little bit. He needs a little longer runway, unfortunately.
Listen, and with Trey Benson, I don't want to get on my soapbox again. It's just like he's not going to play. He's going to miss majority of this season. I think he'll play next week against Houston. I mean, it's a great opportunity for him to be able to establish himself. I was texting with somebody earlier today, and it's just like, think about the team needs, and we're gonna talk draft here in a little bit, just to where things stand and how high the Cardinals pick could go. But it's like they're gonna need a quarterback that's like undisputed, right? The wide receiver, does that become as big of a need now that Michael Wilson is going off? Maybe not. I think you could add a third receiver, and then it's like running back, like. James is going to be 30. He's off an injury. Trey Benson, I don't think you can trust him to just be the guy. Like, I think maybe you have to add another back. I don't know. I was fired up to watch Trey after what I thought, was some pretty good footage that you sent me yesterday. I'm like, okay, he's going to play this week. And, the O-line's healthy in Jacksonville, can give up some chunk plays on the ground. It's just like, nope, he's actually out again. I think that's another position where they're going to have to add a body this offseason. Like if they're sitting there on day 2, certainly on day 3, and a guy's available that they like, just pull the trigger. Because I think this season has shown you that while they like the players in-house, just can't trust a lot of these guys. Now, I'm not ripping James Conner has been in the NFL for 10 plus years. He has every right to collect his money. He got hurt. He's a bell cow. He was great last year. Everybody else, though, it's like, they just haven't proven enough, and it's disappointing. I'm disappointed that Trey is out this week.
It's a bummer, but we kind of knew it was going to be a bit of a process. Seeing somebody suggesting like Trey Benson needs to bulk up. I think he's plenty big. I mean, he's huge. He's a big kid. He's over 220. I don't think that's the case either. So, the meniscus thing is. It's just one of those things you can't control. It's 100% injury rate in this league, and it just came at the most unfortunate time because you want to see what the kid's made of. I think there's still confidence in the building, but look, if we trust Monti Ossenfort to understand that he needs another body potentially in that room where you've got Trey Benson who is going to have missed half the season when it's all said and done. No matter when he gets back. And then you've got going to be a 31-year-old running back and James Conner coming off of a pretty serious foot injury. So, yeah, you're probably going to need to add. I just don't know, like, if there's going to be that big sense of urgency.
No, opportunistic is the word I would use. It just kills Gannon. We know this, that Jacoby Brissett threw the ball 57 times last week. That kills them. And then you couple that with the fact that, like, none of us know who's going to quarterback this team in 2026. The only thing Bo and I can kind of tell you definitively is we believe it's not going to be Kyler Murray. So let's say hypothetically it's a top 10 draft pick. They're going to want to couple that with a back that can produce for them. And maybe that's not a rookie. Maybe that's somebody else. But I would add a back, whether it's in free agency or in the draft. I would make sure that they're in a better spot given the fact that, like, we don't know if James will be on the team. And then Trey Benson, I would need to have, a bigger body of work of Trey Benson to be able to firmly pound the table that he's the guy. And I know maybe I'm on an island with that. I just haven't seen enough yet. And that's a position where, injuries and inconsistencies within your first 2 years don't typically lead to a renaissance in the back half of your NFL tenure. But go out and get, what the equivalent of a David Montgomery or DeAndre Swift is in free agency. If you have to do that, they signed James Conner as a free agent once upon a time. So maybe that's where they say, we want a guy who's going to be available for about 20 to 25 touches a game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not an indictment, I think, at Benson. It wasn't an indictment on Jahmyr Gibbs when they aggressively pursued Montgomery. That's probably a good way to put it. It's like a lot. You look around the league, and a lot of the systems have 2 ball carriers.
Yeah,
it very rarely do you see like the dominant bell cows of a couple of years ago that we're used to seeing, where it's just like that's the run game. That's the run game where it's just like you've got 2 guys that bring two different skill sets. Like, look at the team that's coming up in 2 weeks. Like, once Bucky Irving's back, it's Bucky Irving, it's Rashad White, and then they added this Sean Tucker. So, there are a few places that can go 3 deep, but you got to be able to go 2 deep, I think, in most running back rooms around the league.
Yeah. We got Breece Hall, who's a free agent this offseason. You've got the player that they're going to see this Sunday is Travis Etienne Jr. Javonte Williams is a free agent, and he was an afterthought signing, and it took the infrastructure in Dallas, spearheaded by who, Clayton Adams, to be able to get him going. And then you got like interesting names like Rico Dowling, and then Kenneth Walker in Seattle. Like, yeah, you're probably right. Like, talking through this and the resources given in the draft, like Trey Benson and maybe another veteran, and that's if James Conner's not right back.
Yeah, but there's some draft analysts that say take one in the first round. That's right. Who would probably make more than those guys are going to make on the open market.
No doubt. It's not a position where you want to invest premium resources, and Cardinals upgrade at maybe guard and right tackle. Doesn't matter who's running the football. I want to take a quick break.
Yeah.
Come back. A lot of people have been asking Bo and I, like, when are you going to go full into the NFL draft? When are you going to talk about where this team stands, do more mock drafts, break down prospects? We're going to start slowly integrating the draft, and specifically where things stand with the Cardinals pick beginning today, moving into the future, because of the fact that this team, 7 of 8 losses, right? Non-competitive. And then their schedule is daunting. So we're back around the break. We're going to go through the top 10, who plays who, and where things stand. It's PHNX. I told you I needed it, right? When I spilled water all over myself and my skivvies, I needed Mack Weldon. I needed a fresh pair of Mack Weldon skivvies and shorts to be able to boost me up. Where'd you go? What happened to you?
You'll see.
Mack Weldon is 25% off with the bonus code PHNX for your order of $125 or more. And listen, this is like, I get a mulligan like once a month for my wife where I can wear a child's graphic tee, and I've got one on today. The rest of it, I need to be buttoned up. And I'm buttoned up with our friends at Mack Weldon. Big clothes for big boys like me. Get lost in the comfort, by the way, with their half zips, pullover hoodies. They've got bomber jackets, crew necks. Again, fantastic. Relaxed sweatpants. It's sweatpants season here in Arizona. Chef's kiss. For over 10 years, Mack Weldon has designed timeless, innovative menswear to help you move through the day with confidence right now. It's a call to action. Shop their collection, MackWeldon.com. Promo code PHNX, 25% off your order of $125 or more, Bo.
Are you looking for some gear to help your brand stand apart from the crowd? How about that?
I need that.
Look at this one. Yeah.
Give me that.
I know this one's gonna get grifted the next time you come in the studio.
Oh my God, is that gold trim on that?
Yeah, isn't that great? Branded Bills. Branded Bills established 2015. Yeah, 10 years now. They've been upping everybody's game with their apparel, their snapbacks, their snapbacks, truckers, fitted, beanies, and tees. Branded Bill has you covered with performance and style. We upgraded our gear that you can find, of course, in the All City store. Because we partner up with Branded Bills. This is a smart move to do. They're also a partner of the Phoenix Suns, and they have the campus collection, ASU, U of A, GCU. Check out brandedbills.com and use the code BBPHNX. That's Bo Brock, PHNX. Oh, no, I guess it's maybe Branded Bills, PHNX. 15% off your first order. It's not my own personal code, even though I should have one because I have so much Branded Bills, PHNX swag. Get some for yourself. Take up your company. Maybe it's your co-ed softball team or your kids' little league team. Do it with Branded Bills. Do it now and save 15% off at brandedbills.com by using the code BBPHNX.
Cardinals, as it stands right now on November 21st, not a good team. And what comes with a bad season or a lost season is a high draft pick. And so, as a member of the segment Gross Charts, what is Gross Charts, you ask? It's things where we get nasty and dirty here on PHNX Cardinals. Typically has something pertaining to, I don't know how this team plays on Sundays, but instead, we're going to go one step further. And maybe you like this and you're a big sicko, especially for the NFL draft. No, man, let's see it. It is the 2026 NFL draft order via our friends at Tankathon. Thanks a lot, Tankathon. Arizona Cardinals are 10th in the draft standings. We got a lot of questions about this. How could they be the worst 3-7 team, or the best, excuse me? It's because their strength of schedule is so strong. Only the Titans at 1-9 after beating the Cardinals have a tougher strength of schedule than Arizona. Now, things can change. The Cardinals play Atlanta, Cincinnati in the stretch of games, including 2 against the Rams. So, Bo, we look at this right now, and you and I are kind of on the same page where the top, at least the top 4 to 5, looks like it would be tough to crack, assuming the Cardinals win a couple games.
There will be movement this weekend. It's going to be Cleveland and the Vegas Raiders. So could Shador help them secure a top 3 pick potentially? Maybe that's what they're doing, is that they're playing the whole time. Vegas, if they get a win, they'll have their 3rd on the season. So if the Cardinals, they just by decimal points actually would maybe jump up ahead of the Vegas Raiders because of where their strength of schedule is, if that's how it works. So, but the Cardinals, I mean, it's tough to find many more wins on the slate going forward. But they're in striking distance of a top 10 pick, and what is it, around 60%? I mean, that can even strengthen more with a loss to a 6-win Jags team.
I don't buy the people that have written the Atlanta Falcons off. Not that they're a good team, but the Falcons' schedule, they play the Saints twice and the Jets, and they play the Cardinals. Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, people are saying that the Falcons are done, they're going to lose out. Hard disagree with that. And who knows? Kirk Cousins might be better than Michael Penix. Like, if Kirk Cousins with
bad.
2 months left, his arm might be toast, but Michael Penix was.
Kirk Cousins has 2 months left in the league. That's what he has.
Penix's arm looked erratic. I don't know. Okay, maybe it's a wash, but they still have Bijan. We'll see about Drake London. Here are the teams that are 100% picking in front of the Cardinals. You ready for this?
Yeah.
The Titans are 100% picking in front of the Cardinals. They're 1-9. They're terrible. They should have gone winless this year, but the Mercado made sure that wasn't going to happen. I do think the Giants are done. They've got the Bears, the Packers, the Lions, the Patriots. They play Washington and they play Vegas, but then they've got Minnesota and Dallas. So I think at most the Giants are winning one more game. Jackson Dart's multi-week concussion, that's scary stuff. And then the other team I would put in that group is Cleveland. I think Cleveland is toast. Shador is terrible. Stefanski's dead man walking as a head coach. They're playing Buffalo and Pittsburgh and San Francisco and Vegas. Now, a couple of these sloppy teams play each other, Tennessee and that kind of thing. But there are just teams I think have one more win max on their schedule. But then, let's see about the Jets, New Orleans, Vegas, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so with that in mind, let's look at the schedule for the Arizona Cardinals. How many more wins do they have here? So we've got the Cardinals, and we haven't updated this since last time, but the Cardinals obviously lost to the 49ers. If they don't win this weekend, I think the next best option is going to be the 16th or week 16, December 21st against the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah. Did you see that pressure on Josh Allen last night from the Texans?
Woof.
Can you imagine that against Jacoby Brissett? I mean, Will Anderson. I mean, it could be ugly. It could be very ugly. But I don't disagree with you. Like, this is pivotal. We talk about the defense potentially being at full strength. It's going to have to show something this week after some really tough performances post Monday Night Football against the Cowboys. There's just not a whole lot of realistic, outside of any given Sunday cliches, Cardinals pulling off an unforeseen upset. So, given that, just where they're going to be favored and who they're not going to be favored against, they'll probably have one game on the schedule left that they're favored in, and that is December 21st against the Falcons. If they don't win this, getting to like 6 wins, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I think the over-under for this team is 4.5. And here's where the Cardinals are really hurt by what's gone on offensively is they can't run the football at all. And that's a byproduct of their offensive line too. Like, I don't know how that's just being fixed on the fly. I mean, they could be starting an undrafted rookie right tackle. If this defense, Bo, like I think this performance is going to tell us a lot about how this defense is going to respond for the rest of the year.
Sure.
If we see a motivated team and it's Cody Simon settling into his role and you get more from Walter Nolan, who's saying all the right things, and now the secondary is healthy for the most part outside of Taylor Demerson, and the defense is like, we're leveling up in these last 7 games, then they might win 3 or 4. If the defense is status quo, where it's like you might get one good performance and then a bunch of bad ones, it's just not good enough. Like this offense, like you saw it last night with Houston and Buffalo. Davis Mills is kind of the talk of the NFL this morning, but their defense kept them in that game. They picked off Josh. They turned the Bills over 3 times. Like, that's what we expected the Cardinals defense to do this year. And it becomes so imperative that they figure that out. And we love JG on the show. That is the biggest indictment of Jonathan Gannon right now, is that in late November, with most of your pieces and hand-picked players and developed guys over 3 years, your defense is just not good enough. You can't take the football away. If that continues down the stretch, then 1-2 games max is what they're going to get.
And that puts you kind of in harm's way as a coaching staff.
Yeah.
Overall. I mean, that's going to be tough, because the context of living that life week in and week out and not getting those performances and having to answer for that, one thing could be said, a week ago, that's not going to stand the test of the remaining schedule. Like, things could certainly change. So you're going to have to avoid that by stringing together a couple solid performances that, if you can play defense, you should be able to stay in each of the games going forward. Like, outside of maybe the Rams performance, and those are division games, and you've played the Rams type, but they're on just a different level. It just feels like it's a different weight class fight. So the Cardinals, I mean, this week against a team that is undermanned in the passing attack, and you got one job defensively that you have to, an assignment you have to do and perform well on, and slowing down the run, you got to step up to the challenge.
I mean, Brian Thomas Jr. is out, as you mentioned. They have really no capable receiver. Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas Jr. were their 2 starting. They're gone now.
Kobe Myers, who's been in this system for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think you've got a quarterback with similar numbers to Jacoby Brissett, but a guy who turns the ball over much more consistent. It's a big game for a guy like Cody Simon, where the Cardinals' run defense earlier this year was pretty solid with Mack Wilson Sr., and now it's like you need the rookie to step up. You need the defensive line to penetrate. You assume that there's not going to be a lot of Jaguar fans at State Farm Stadium. Like, this is a must-win for them. We say it every week for a lot of different reasons. I think if they lose this weekend, I think the losses will continue just to rain down, because it does not feel like the end of 2023, where, remember, Kyler and the crew stole that game in Pittsburgh, and they won that game in Philly. And it was like, yeah, I can see what you're building. You've got some mojo here.
Yeah.
Asking Jacoby Brissett to go put up 30 points on the road against playoff teams is not realistic.
Yeah. No, it's not. And just when we talk about, the quarterback position, we'll get more in it from something that happened at practice today.
Ooh.
Like, Devontae Moore looks like he's going back to school, which still is strange to me. Like, this guy seems like he's a lock top 10 pick.
He's declaring. You
got Urban Meyer doing a Zoom call with Fernando Mendoza, and he's like smitten with the kid because he's talking the intricacies of playing the position that are, he reminds me a lot. Like, Mendoza reminds me a lot of like Andrew Luck.
He does.
And like that's
not the prospect, but just how
not physical, but not far off physically either.
Right.
Just how cerebral he is and detail oriented in him. So like, but you only have 3 quarterbacks max, 2 max that teams are going to be vying for. So even if you can secure a top 10 pick, it's not a lock that you're going to be in striking distance of having a franchise capable quarterback.
No, and I think that's where a lot of people, we're going to know the major players, the names over the court. I mean, but even like this time 2 years ago, everybody knew Marv, everybody knew Neighbors, everybody knew the quarterbacks, right? And how we were talking about tanking for Marv the entire season leading to that final game. Even last year, it was like you knew like the Mason Grahams of the world, right? Like this year, a little bit different. You get the edge rusher from, I think it's Miami. You've got 3 or 4 guys from Ohio State that we like, but I don't know if any of them should be top 10 picks. You've got Mendoza, Jordan Tyson, Ty Simpson, the tackle for Utah. Like, I think this is cyclical, and I think it could change. And so that's why I'm always of the mindset, and I get it. Sometimes losing is best for business. I do think in a draft like this, with the state of how the Cardinals are, I'm not going to tell people how to root for their team. I want to see the Cardinals win games down the stretch. I want them to do well because this is a young team that is more or less going to be here next year. These players are going to be around. To me, it's like losing and tanking. I've done that. We've seen that before. Right. Go out and win some games and have some mojo that you are a couple pieces away in the offseason from taking that next step. Otherwise, I mean, I guess if you're in the camp that want to see the staff blown out and you want to see Gannon fired, then you're hoping that they lose every game. I'm not of that mindset.
Yeah, I don't want to see the bad performances because I think that's where it falls on the players. Where players, like if you see guys go out there like Cody Simon at the linebacker position or Marv when he returns, if you're not seeing throughout the entirety of the season consistently like performances stacked on top of each other, those are things that are concerns moving forward. And I want to be able to check a couple boxes as much as like we want to be done with this season and on to the next.
Yeah.
There's still a ton of boxes that players, coaches, front office have to check. And if they're not, and like, you don't want to be rooting for just a complete loss of a franchise. Like that's just, you have to be able to see better play from here on forward. And if like it can't be as non-competitive as it's been the last 2 weeks. So like the only what that looks like is playing competitive games. And if you lose, and you're not as upset. It's not as crushing because the season has already been lost.
And you get the draft pick.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to court quality offensive people and maybe defensive people. Like, you got to give them something. Hey, look at these young players. Look at Michael Wilson and Trey and Marv and Paris. Look at these guys we have on defense. Like, I want this team to be able to sell winning coaches this offseason to come join what they're doing. We're coming back around the corner. Hit that like button. We've got our players of the game, Bo.
We do. And some news coming out of from one of the division foes. Some interesting tea from an NFC West rival. We'll tell you what it is coming up next. PHNX Cardinals.
Interesting stuff right now happening in the NFL landscape, Cardinals or otherwise. Interesting stuff happening with our friends at Shady Rays. I'm going to tell you right now, if you have not been to their website, I kid you not, I just did this 2 days ago. Black Friday deals at Shady Rays right now. Hot damn. I got a pair of their blacked out sunglasses. My favorite pair. I've ordered them multiple times. I keep like losing them or my kids step on them. I've had the same pair 2 or 3 times. And they're fantastic over the course of 5 years since I've been with this company. I got the pair of Shady Rays, my favorite pair, out the door, Bo, shipped to my home. It's in my mailbox right now, $24. Are you kidding me? $24 right now. Bonus code PHNX. Their website is unbelievable. And that I just bought one pair. I could have gone nuts. The more you stack, the more you save. In a society right now where it's like everything's expensive, especially sunglasses, and you're worried about losing them, breaking them, they're in your car, your kids sit on them. It's just like, I need something durable that looks great. It's Shady Rays. We've teamed up with them. You guys know it's an exclusive offer. Head to Shady Rays right now. Bonus code PHNX. I plugged it in, 35% off. I don't have some like fancy promo code, right? I use the same one you guys use, $24 out the door. Try for yourself. The Shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people at Shady Rays.
It's time to set sail with Captain Morgan. That's right. He's making his way to the desert for a couple different stops around the valley, November 23rd through the 28th. Captain Morgan's ship, an actual pirate ship, is going to be here starting with State Farm Stadium this Sunday, November 23rd. Join the Captain Morgan iHub Tailgate Tour at State Farm Stadium. Captain Morgan's ship will be in town, and the first stop is kicking off that tailgate tour throughout the valley. Then they're going to be November 26th at Old Town Scottsdale. That's right. Captain Mo is going to be flowing in Old Town Scottsdale, and then they're going to be there, the iHub Tailgate Tour in Tempe for the Territorial Cup. Our boys over at PHNX Sun Devils are going to be holding things down at Local Patron on Mill for, of course, the Territorial Cup, the duel in the desert. And your last chance to see the ship is at Fry's on Southern and Tempe on November 29th. Don't miss your chance to see Captain Ship for yourself. Follow them, Captain Morgan USA on Instagram, and follow the entire journey.
Breaking news here on PHNX Cardinals that is interesting. The timing, Bo, you teased it here in November, late November. San Francisco, who appear well on their way to making the playoffs. Kudos to them, and I hate it. According to both Mike Silver and Diana Rossini of The Athletic, Brandon Ayuk unlikely to play for them again. He signed a robust free agent contract last year, right before the start of the season. They had talks about trading him in the draft and had offers of like a first-round pick plus. They didn't. They re-signed him. And now, Bo, according to Mike Silver and Diana, that a divorce appears imminent for a player that has a cap hit next year of $15 million, and it balloons up to $41 million in 2027.
Wow. Yeah, it's some big-time money, and it's a big-time misstep from the Niners organization. They can't keep getting away with this. But according to Rossini, Ayuk failed the former ASU Sun Devil to attend meetings and declined to participate in the 49ers team activities. Sources say that the team responded by voiding guaranteed money in his contract for 2026 and asserting that the absences amounted to a failure to fulfill his contract obligations. The only problem with all of this is, like, I don't even feel like they miss Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, how does the cap implications matter? Purdy's contract's about to kick in. I mean, that's why Kyle Shanahan is the most important player or individual in their franchise.
Yeah.
That he is an elixir that can help mitigate time. Like they should be a fourth place team this year. Their quarterback's been out the entire season. Trent Williams has been up and down. Nick Bosa done. Fred Warner done. Kittle's missed a bunch of time. Yes, they've had the easiest schedule in the NFL. It's been cake, but they've beaten the Cardinals twice. They've beaten the Rams. It's like they've beaten the Seahawks. It's an elite coach. And this is what we talk about when we talk about, like, Jonathan Gannon. Can you overcome this? And if you hire Joe Blow coach in January, do they have a chance to compete against these guys? Brandon Ayuk, to me, it's like they'll figure out a way. It's a casualty for them that Perky Pearsall's been hurt. Like, I don't even know how they're doing it. I don't watch a bunch of Niner games, but all I know is get Robert Saleh out of the equation. Maybe we got a better shot at this.
Yeah, and Snacks, who put on the screen, I do not want him at the Cardinals. Have no fear. There's no way that the Arizona Cardinals are going to be on a player like Brandon Ayuk. Like the me over team aspect of it, it's held throughout the organization. They're not even going to entertain that now. Like Cleveland, who sniffed around Ayuk when he was kind of ugly contract negotiation.
Steelers wanted him.
Yeah, Steelers wanted him, and then I think New England might have outgrown him just with the emergence of Drake May without him. But yeah, that's big time news. Speaking of players that could be on the track for divorce from their current team, how about this hitting the Twitter streets via this handsome reporter?
Who's that?
Bo Brock on Twitter. He was out there. Kyler Murray was working with trainers on the side today at Arizona Cardinals practice. People are like, what does it mean? What does this mean? Is he coming back to play? Is he going to return? Lee Corso says, not so fast, my friend. I think I wouldn't say it's like a coordinated public appearance, Johnny, but I think
that's what I would say.
That's what you would say. Okay.
That's very well said by you.
All right.
Very well not said, but said by you. This coincides nicely with Kyler Murray posting on Instagram a bunch of photos of him as a Cardinal and Trey McBride liking it and commenting on it. Like, this is all calculated, friends, because there are two parties involved here that want the same thing. I believe that. I believe Kyler Murray believes that. I believe Monti Ossenfort believes that. Bo and I are of the mindset. I don't even think you can call it an opinion anymore. I think it's a fact that Kyler Murray will never play another snap for this team. And so right now, he is being put on display, and this is calculated. Hey, he's out there, he's throwing, he's getting right, and he's going to do that on and off for, guess what, 7 more weeks. And then they're going to say all the right things at the end of the year presser, that he's a great player, and they're going to, explore their options, but they're open to having him as their quarterback in 2026. And then we'll talk about it, and people will run with it. And then he will get traded in February or March. That's where this is headed.
And I'll maintain Kyler Murray remains on good footing with his teammates. It really seems like there hasn't been any kind of rift there. So, yeah, I mean, that does seem to be the most of what that was today. So everybody's playing nice in this situation, but at the end of the day, it doesn't change the future, the future reality that Kyler Murray is going to be wearing a different uniform come 2026.
He's on injured reserve. He's going to stay on injured reserve. I will come on this show and do an opening segment and eat all the crow if they activate him and he's their starter.
Yeah, do you see it getting as far as they open up a practice window or something like that?
No.
Okay.
What? No chance.
Well, just to kind of keep this.
Maybe like the last week of the season.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's a 21-day window.
Possible for him to come.
Right. Yeah. It's a 21-day window, and they open up like 2 weeks
of the season. Yeah.
Right.
This is a team that tries to play semantics. Remember last week, people were like, is Jonah Williams going to play? And then they made him inactive, and now he's on IR. And they did that for they do that all the time. It's like,
right.
Oh, so-and-so could play, and he's done for the year. Well, they knew last week he was done for the year. They did that on purpose. This is like anybody who is sitting there saying, well, this is just the process, and Kyler will be back, and he'll be back after Thanksgiving. But no, that's not what's happening.
Yeah. Let's get into the Jonah conversation, because I nearly forgot about it. You placed on IR today. Let's get in that real quick. Then we're going to get to our key players of the game and our predictions all coming up. PHNX Cardinals.
I forgot about the Jonah Williams conversation. I'm ready to get after that. I'm ready to get after this weekend. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to get on the Bet365 app, and I'm going to turn up on college football because we're ramping up. We got a ton of rivalry games on deck, and of course, a robust NFL slate. My guy, Brack, dropping a tasty 3-4 leg parlay on the Bet365 streets. And then, of course, we're going to have our boosted bet on football NFL Sunday. Myself, Britton Golden, Espo in studio, Bo at the stadium. And again, perfect time. Britton Golden, big time gambling sicko. Love having him in the fold. He's done pretty well on the app this year, Bet365. Myself, no, it's never too late to get started with Bet365. New customers right now get $150 in bonus bets when you bet, $5, win or lose. Sign up, use the bonus code PHNX365, deposit 10, place that $5 bet, win or lose, you're in the money. Your bonus bets can be used on spreads, totals, player props, futures, or whatever the moment. It's never ordinary with Bet365. You got to be 21 years and older, physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Text NEXT STEP to 53342, or visit problemgambling.az.gov, Bo, for more info.
Yeah, a trio of prop bets. I have hitting the social media streets tomorrow looking at Bet365. What's up on the board? It's been rainy. It's cooled down. Have you turned on that heater yet in your house? You're looking, maybe I need to start to think about how I'm going to go from, of course, energy save mode in the summer months to now in the winter months. It's always something that's on top of mind because you don't want those energy costs to get out of control. And APS is with you on that. That's why they want to give you a smart thermostat as low as $0. That's right. Free 99. Of course, you got to pay shipping and taxes. They're not included. Other restrictions apply, but you're not going to find a better deal than this. And you're not going to find a better way than teaming up with APS with a smart thermostat and just tune in and key in your energy costs and your thermostat on your smartphone. It's that simple. You're going to get a nice energy-saving, efficient way to cool and heat your house with our friends over at APS. Look to save money and energy when APS. They're going to help you upgrade to that smart thermostat, cut costs year after year. APS customers can get that new smart thermostat as low as $0 at aps.com/sale. That's aps.com/sale.
Hit that like button. We talked about it earlier this week. Monti Ossenfort, his hits and misses. And free agency has not been kind to Monti, especially in the spring of 2024, headlined by a class of really underachieving defensive tackles and a right tackle, and Jonah Williams, who missed the majority of 2024, was out from the opener on and off until Seattle, then was out on and off at the end of the year. This year, started off playing a good amount, but the quality of play, Bo, was nothing short of horrendous at times, leading to the infamous Michael Parsons game, which runs roughshod in all Cardinal fans' heads from here on out.
That was it, right? That was probably the final blow for people to make kind of the determination on where they stood. They hadn't already on Jonah Williams and whether or not it was a savvy move by Monti Ossenfort or if it just turned it out to be a big-time bust, trying to retool the right tackle spot as they moved Paris Johnson Jr. to a nice home at left tackle. That's the bright spot on the offensive line. I've seen this a couple times today, and I'll push back on it. Jonah Williams was not the worst of that class, even though I think he makes his claim to it. The 2024 free agent class, Monti Ossenfort, it's going to be tough to top how bad this was, where he spent $30+ million on Justin Jones, $20+ million on Bilal Nichols. I think Jonah Williams was another 30. You look at, Evan Brown was mixed in there. There's chump change as far as NFL salary cap dollars. And then Mack Wilson Sr. was probably the lone bright spot, like true outlier bright spot. But when I look at that class and I say, who's the worst of the class? I mean, I think it's Justin Jones. I think that was the most money spent. And it's like, at least Jonah Williams gave you a couple different times where he said, is there hope here? Or Justin Jones is just like, hurt his bicep and then he was never seen again, right? Really, outside of a couple of spots like training camp, and then he went away.
Remember, he was in training camp and was playing in the second half of preseason games, and we're like, oh, this guy's going to get cut. And then they just IR'd him, and they're basically telling them, go.
And Sean Murphy-Bunting part of that class too.
Right. But Bunting at least had a couple picks last year. He wasn't great. Yeah. And then they got his money back for this year. They didn't have to eat. Jonah, and especially Bilal Nichols and Justin Jones, they're getting paid. They're getting paid. Justin Jones in particular is getting paid to do literally nothing for this team.
Right.
Justin Jones is easily the worst. I think, how many games did he play last year? 2 to 3? Yeah, there you go, Brian. He played 3 games. 3 games out of 34. That is horrendous. Just sit back, collecting a check. Say what you want about Jordan Phillips. He played some. Thank God for Calais Campbell. Thank God that Walter Nolan fell. Otherwise, it could be a scenario in which the defensive tackle group looks like last year. Monti did a much better job. I contend, and I said this the other day when we did the free agent show.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't he didn't know what he wanted to do. It's hey, we're going to be active this year, but the players that we're going to sign aren't going to get people juiced up. But we are going to give them a lot of money. I remember the narrative was the Cardinals have to overpay these players because nobody else wants to come here, which is a bunch of BS. People will take your money. Monti Ossenfort was let me sign a bunch of C-level players and see if our coaching staff can make them B-level players. And then we're going to get all A's in the draft. Well, the reality of that happening, probably we definitely know we overestimated the staff's ability to do that. Then all these guys got hurt and none of them can play. And it's just either go all in with quality players in free agency, or go on with the draft, or do a combination of both. And that's what they did this year. The draft was great. Free agency was great for the most part. I don't love Dalvin Tomlinson in terms of the impact, but he plays every game.
Right.
And I nose tackle's a hard position to evaluate. Sweat, A+, Calais, A+, right? To me, that class from a year ago, you just wash your hands of it and move on. They just had no idea what they wanted to be in 2024.
Yeah. When it's all said and done, so Jonah had the 2 years, and he'll be a free agent this offseason. He's got a couple void years on his contract. But Justin Jones, he got this $17.5 million guaranteed on his contract, 17.75, so nearly 18 million.
Yeah.
But when they cut him, they only have about 3 million in dead cap. So they'll fall short of having to pay him all 30 million. They'll probably end up paying him, like, in total money on Justin Jones, 20 million for 3 games. That's it's up there, highway robbery right there with Sam Bradford. Like that's right there. I mean, as far as the money spent and the lack of production that you got.
Take Matt Eberflus. I mean, like, he was a guy in Chicago, and they watched him perform in Chicago, I think late in 2023. And they're like, we like this guy. And then Eberflus is like, yeah, he's good. And he was not good. There's that Eberflus influence on JG. I don't want to do too much of this because I know we got to get to player of the games and that kind of thing. But I mean, looking ahead, the Cardinals have right now about $33 million in cap space. That's before it goes up with the league. I don't think they're going to get any relief on what happens with Kyler Murray. We'll just be pleasantly surprised if they do. But, like, they're going to get with Jonah Williams and Jalen Thompson have cap hits combined $11 million. Both their contracts will be voided, so they'll get that. Justin Jones, as you mentioned, you're going to clear over $8 million. Bilal Nichols, you're going to clear $6 million. I mean, if they cut James Conner, they're going to clear $8 million post June 1st. Like, maybe a guy like Baron Browning, $5 million. I don't know. They have to evaluate. Akeem Davis Gaither, you could clear $5 million. They could nickel and dime their way from going about 30 to 35 million to 60 million at the drop of a hat. So, yeah. And I think, like, I like where this team is. Go and cut a bunch of players that aren't going to help you, and then take the $60 million and go get the best guard in free agency, or go get the best right tackle, or go get, I don't think they're going to get a quarterback in free agency, but maybe a running back. Like, they won't need to spend like they did last year on 3 or 4 players. I think it's like two big ones, I think, would help a lot. Yeah. You would, if you're able to trade Kyler, you get quite a bit of cap relief. But you obviously have to eat a lot of dead money. But they're going to be in a decent spot to fill some holes in free agency, and of course do what they want to do with their draft picks. So good stuff there. Not good stuff. Actually, the opposite of good stuff as far as the 2024 free agent class goes, and almost shuts the door on it. Kind of closes it up on November 21st, 2025 on the 2024 free agent class. We barely knew thee. But it's not forward. Jonah Williams' fault that Drew Petzing left him on an island and they have horrible technique this year. Yeah, I mean, the coaching has been bad offensively. Yeah. We know that. The players that can play a role as far as the Cardinals making Jacksonville a trap game for the Jags. It's next, PHNX Cardinals. I'm not going to get trapped this Black Friday. Are you? I'm going to be smart. And I'm going to tell you right now, the smartest move I can make is teaming up with the husband and wife law team, Bo. Right now, they are built different. They are a staple of the Valley. And again, you see it on the screen here. You got a serious injury concern, so a wrongful death claim, contact them right now. Again, how are they different? Well, specifically, they are going to take care of you anytime, any place, anywhere. You can cancel their fee agreement at any time for any reason. You're not locked in. This is not some locked-in contract forever. You're going to receive as much money in your pocket as they receive in their fee, even if they have to reduce their fees to do so. So you're always coming out whole. That's something a lot of people concern themselves with, rightfully so, when they're hiring an attorney. Well, they can speak to you, and they can get you in contact with them and the rest of their crew as often as you choose about anything you want to discuss. If you need to talk to them late in the day, on the weekends, they'll have people ready to go. You have the right to trust lawyers, and they're going to help you with your strengths and weaknesses of your claim so you can make informed decision. Right now, it's one of the hardest things to do. is to find an attorney. Look no further. If you've had a serious injury, call the husband and wife law team first. It's 602-783-8841. Visit their website right now. Link in the show notes, and Bo, tell them PHNX Cardinals sent you.
Follow them on social too. Elite follow on Instagram. Mark and Alexis. Mark just dropping bars on a daily basis, firing his team up to go out there and win for their clients. Also, you know what's a big win? How about Mountain America Credit Union? Their My Style checking account for your lifestyle over at MACU. We love it. Everyone needs a checking account. I mean, that's just pretty straightforward. You can't just keep your money buried in your backyard or in your freezer or wherever some you weirdos would potentially keep it outside of a bank. Put them in a bank and keep it safe. Maybe even get some perks like with Mountain America's My Style checking account, your lifestyle. You get the perks like restaurant deals, mobile phone protection, telehealth access, identity protection, loan rate discounts, offer on travel and events, and so much more. Make My Style your lifestyle at Mountain America Credit Union. Visit macu.com/mystyle to apply. Required insured by NCUA. Membership required based on eligibility. Some benefits require no cost registration activation. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply. Once again, make My Style your lifestyle at Mountain America Credit Union. Visit macu.com/mystyle to apply.
Hit that like button, subscribe to PHNX Sports here on YouTube, and become a supporter. Click join down below. It's just $5. You can support what we're doing. And we've got some supporter-only content dropping here soon, especially this offseason. Get in now. True sicko level stuff. Love to see our supporters. Owen, T. Cleary, Brian, Desert Vulture in the chat. If you're wondering how you can become a supporter, click join like our guy Ozzy. Man, very humbled by the amount of supporters. We lead All City, and this show leads PHNX in supporters. And so, again, we get asked all the time. It's like, what can we do to support you and Bo, Johnny? I had somebody come up to me at Costco last night and tell me how much he loved the show. And I'm like, this is great. This community, this team may stink, but you guys are the opposite. You guys are the best. And click that join so we can have more good times here despite this team.
It's the Costco guys. We're the guys that I always heard you were not approachable in public. So that's good to hear that you
Everett, I'm the most approachable. I will say Costco right now, this is not free advertising, has the most elite like 90s starter jacket, like it's off brand. And I saw every Costco is doing like their market. So like I saw people for the Bears and stuff had them.
Yeah.
It is sweet. I almost sent you a picture. So maybe it needs to be put on my Christmas list.
You get a double chunk chocolate cookie?
My daughter did. She ate the whole thing. And then quickly she was like, need to use the restroom, Dad. I'm like, okay, it's how things go. We're in the Costco bathroom more than we're actually in Costco. So,
well, what a transition. Let's get to this Cardinals game. Having to run to the restroom at Costco. Let's get to the Cardinals, what their upcoming performance could look like after two back-to-back stinkers against the Seahawks and the Niners. I'm gonna take the reins here. I'm going first. Johnny's gone first the last couple weeks. Okay. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm gonna go chalk.
It's not true.
Trey McBride is my offensive player of the game. Who the hell is going to cover Trey McBride for the poor Jacksonville Jaguars? Now, the Jaguars are known as an opportunistic defense. They do pretty good against the run, but against the tight ends, they actually give up the second most yardage in scores, fifth most tight ends. Second most in the league, fifth most to quarterbacks. Trey McBride, I think he should have a game that resembles Brock Bowers. Even Dalton Schultz had 11 targets, 7 catches, and 53 yards. Travis Kelce turned back the clock for 7 catches, 61-yard touchdown performance. I think that Trey McBride, he's an unstoppable force right now. You can only hope to contain him. So give me Trey McBride on Sunday at home wearing the Reds. Then more chalk going defense. Give me Walter Nolan. It's going to be so imperative to slow down the run game with Travis Etienne and Tootin and all, them pushing people around and creating rush lanes. Walter Nolan, Calais Campbell, they need to slow things down. And it starts with big number 97. So if they're going to have any success and make them maybe force Trevor Lawrence to throw the football, it's going to come down to Walter Nolan. Then you can pin yours back, get Josh Sweat free and get some sacks. In my X factor, we were talking about it with Baldy yesterday, Johnny. It's been an eerily quiet season for Budda Baker. Budda Baker, as far as slowing that run game down, he needs to be that Cobra strike safety that we've grown to love here in the desert, and it's been not seen in 2025. I need to see some Budda Baker on display. He needs to have his best performance at State Farm this Sunday.
7 games left. I'm going to put you on the spot. This game, obviously, you're calling for a Budda Baker performance.
Yeah.
He has never been one to take the football away, okay? But he is somebody that his leadership is unquestioned. And then historically, like he plays with his hair on fire. Like last year when they were having that great defensive run, Budda was making plays at the line of scrimmage. He was doing TFLs. He was batting balls down, lighting players up. That has not been Budda Baker this year. What, like, the heir apparent to Jalen Thompson is on the roster in Taylor Demerson. Budda Baker is scheduled to make next year $20 million. Mm-hmm. If they were to release him post June 1st, you're doing 10 and 10, basically. You expect Budda Baker to be on this team next year, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I mean, the contract isn't it's not conducive to get out from under it.
Correct.
This year. So, or this next offseason. And I don't think they anticipated, there being any kind of fall off as far as the play, but there just hasn't been much of an impact. Like, even though we didn't see Budda Baker, get his hands on a lot of footballs last year, he was making his presence known, flying around and taking down ball carriers. You saw the tackles.
Yeah.
Absurd tackle number games. Like he was a force, whether or not he was taking the ball away or batting passes down. He was making an impact, and just haven't seen it at all this season. So I think, play with, sure, he's not playing with reckless abandon, but get out there and kind of sniff out, the opposing ball carrier.
I do think safety is a need for this team. And I mean,
yeah,
I'd like to see Keaton Crawford play.
Not first round though.
No, that's correct. Let's take a look. My prediction players of the game. No Trey Benson, meaning like I think if they're going to succeed offensively, like Bam Knight has to do something. I think back to like the good performances offensively against like Indy and Green Bay. And it's like, he was a positive, right? He was catching the football. He was running hard between the tackles. Michael Carter is just too small. And he's a change of pace guy. I don't even know the player that they brought off the practice squad. With
Jamar Jefferson?
Yeah. Like no one knows him. I couldn't pick him out of a lineup. Like
I do.
Shut up, Noah. It has to be Bam Knight. Like Bam Knight has to give, I need like 15 carries for like 65 yards or something like that. They can't win unless he gives them something. Like it's a mandate that he performs. Last week was this Jacoby Brissett's jersey is in Canton, and Cardinal fans are making a mockery of it, and I don't blame them because that game, 57 passes, they were losing by 3 scores. Like you're not going to slow down the pass rush for Jacksonville throwing the ball 57 times. Defensively, I'll just couple these two together. This is the future of the Cardinals defense. It's the future, a big part of their future of the team. I want to see Will Johnson intercept Trevor Lawrence, and I want to see Walter Nolan bring Trevor Lawrence to the ground. Walter Nolan said last week that the game's slowing down for him, Bo, as we've talked about. I think he is poised to wreck the Jags up front. I think this has got to be the player where he may not be making the TFL behind the line of scrimmage, but he's setting somebody else up for a TFL or a negative play. Will Johnson, Max Melton, Garrett Williams against the Jaguar receiving core that's not very good. The lapses last week in the secondary, I think those get cleaned up with Will. Mm-hmm. You have 2 top 15 level prospects, maybe top 12 in your lineup this weekend defensively. I don't think that it's a coincidence that the last time we saw this defense be worth a damn, it was when these 2 guys played together. So I'm going all in with these rookies. If I could put Cody Simon on here, I would, but I'm going with the guys with the highest ceiling.
You got me with the latter there. You got me with the 2 rookies on the defensive side. You just can't persuade me to think that they're going to get anything going on the game on the ground with.
And they're not going to win any more games. You can't win with no run game. It's like we went from their 2-run dominant or their 2-run dependent to now they can't run at all.
They haven't, like, I'm looking at what the Jaguars have yielded offensively. Like the season high against the Jags is from Woody Marks of Houston for 63 yards.
Wow.
I mean, Kyron Williams, 54 yards. Christian McCaffrey, 49 yards. Chase Brown, 47 yards. Chuba Hubbard, 57. Like
that guy they hired from Green Bay has been Anthony Campanelli.
Yes.
He must be pretty good then.
There's just no good performances. I mean, they haven't faced big backs. Like the best backs they've faced are Kyron Williams, Christian McCaffrey, and it's just a bunch of schlubs for the most part, but they didn't surrender anything. Like, so like the fact that, like, the idea that Bam Knight is going to be the one, like, to change that, I think.
Let me read the front seven in this game. Josh Allen, great player. I don't know how many, he's got a couple sacks on the year. He's got like 3, but he's a good player. Dalvin Hamilton, who I think played at Ohio State, he's okay.
Yeah.
Tariq Armstead, who's like 100 years old, who's been good.
Yeah.
They've got no Trayvon Walker. That was a bust. And so they're going to have to start like a DeJuan Smoot. And then their off-ball linebackers. Now, Devin Lloyd is a player. He can play. He was a first-rounder. I think a couple of years ago, he's got 4 picks on the year. Like, that's where you have to worry about them. But then our boy Dennis Gardeck is starting at Sam linebacker for this team and has, decent statistics this year.
Yeah.
I look at that front seven and I'm like, you should be able to move the ball on that team.
Yeah.
But they're doing it.
You can through the air. You really can. Like, somebody was saying it was malpractice on our behalf not put Michael Wilson. I think Michael Wilson's going to have another great performance. I think he's going to follow it up with more production. We're getting ahead of ourselves. What's Noah have for his top players of the game? Maybe he rights all our wrongs.
Well, I agree with you, Bo. I don't think that they're going to get really anything going on the ground at all. You just haven't seen it, and the personnel just isn't there on the team. But on offense, you got big Mike Wilson. Obviously, he's probably not going to have the performance he had last week, but I'd like to see him continue to get targets. He really shows a lot of fight out there, and I think it really gets the rest of the team juiced, and I like his energy that he brings. So I think he'll have a big game. Last week, Jalen Thompson, I'm running back with him. He let a pick go right through his hands. I'm thinking almost towards the end of the season, he knows that Rabbit's probably coming up to take his job. He's not going to let another one slip through his fingers. Trevor Lawrence likes to turn over the ball. So I think if he gets an opportunity to snag a football this weekend, he's going to make the most of it. And then an X factor, I got Greg Dortch. I think instead of running the ball so much, I think they're going to try and use him a little bit more in like gadgety type plays, like jet sweeps and maybe some trickery going on. But he has great after the catch. He's good with the ball in his hands. And I think it would be a little bit more effective than just trying to pound it up the gut. So, yeah, that's what I got.
I like those.
Thank you.
This might be the best of all 3 of us.
Jalen Thompson, Budda Baker, 0 takeaways this year.
They got to get one at some point.
They've both had 2 opportunities where they didn't secure interceptions. That would have been big for this team.
I mean, it's not the reason this team is failing, but like when your highest paid players are not performing, it's like Jonah Williams bust, making good free agent money. That's a bust. Kyler Murray not playing, who's a $45 million quarterback. That's a bust. Yeah. Both safeties not playing, bust. James Conner not playing, bust. Like that's not why the season has gone downhill, but man, you get to November 21st and you got no impact from those guys. And we're talking about, hey, Michael Wilson at making no money, can you save us? And Trey McBride is the only one that you're like, hey, he was well paid. And to a lesser extent, Josh Sweat, those guys are performing. Everybody else, it's like not seeing it. Got to be better. All right, let's get to our game predictions here. Then your super chats. I will go first because I believe I am on an island here. Unlike Noah Balboa there. I have a hard time seeing the Cardinals winning this game and many more games this year. I was wrong to assume that the defense would be able to build off of what they did a year ago. They have regressed with better players, and that is something I can't explain. We asked Baldy about it. If you checked out our VOD yesterday, I just don't think this team ever got over the DeMercado fumble. I think that there is issues in the locker room in terms of like not how this Kyler Murray situation has been handled, but like this team has changed dramatically since week 1. But there are no excuses defensively because most of the players are out there. I can't explain it. It's disappointing because I think so highly of JJ and Rollis as defensive coaches. But Trevor Lawrence is, if you're giving him time and he sits back there, he's a mobile guy. He's a big athletic guy. I'm disappointed that in a game in which we all assumed the Cardinals would run roughshod, that I'm picking the Jags to walk into State Farm Stadium and send the Cardinals to their 8th loss in 9 attempts.
Trevor Lawrence is 10-22 on the road. He's struggled. If you can slow down the run game, which I think they're capable of doing, I haven't picked the Cardinals to win in a long time. I think that this is the game that they're able to muster a decent performance at home. I think it should be enough to squeak by 21-20. Is that not very confidence provoking there, Noah?
No, I just saw a funny comment in the chat.
Oh, okay. What do you got? Why'd you go with the Cardinals 24-20?
I don't know. I just think it's a trap game for Jacksonville. I don't think particularly it's a get-right game for the Cardinals, but I just feel like if I was a Jacksonville fan and I saw this game on the schedule, I'd be like, this could be a little trap game for us. So, yeah. And also, 49 years ago today, Rocky was released in theaters, so that's inspiration.
Nice
with
little
the picture today.
Fun fact.
I want to see this team win.
I'm with you, man. I feel weird and sometimes dumb picking them to win, but
I don't know how many more games I'm going to pick them to win this year.
I haven't picked them to win in a long time. I'm not. Maybe some of it was spite when I put the Jonah Williams news up when I reported it from the press conference, and Jags fans were spiking the football. It's like, buddy, this is a win for the Cardinals that Jonah Williams is not playing.
But it's a loss that their coaches kept playing him.
Right. It looks like Beach should be ready to go. We'll see if maybe he rotates regardless with Josh Fryer, and they just want to get a look at the rookie.
I have concerns about what Baldy told us yesterday. Xavier Weaver quitting on routes, and he's your third receiver. No Marvin, no Zay Jones. Like obviously the Jags are aware of what Michael Wilson did last week. Like they're not. Greg Newsom's a good corner. I don't know.
Yeah, but you didn't see much thrown Xavier Weaver's after that play. I think that Jacoby Brissett's got still more than enough between Trey, Michael Wilson, and Greg Dortch.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And Elijah Higgins, if he can. Elijah Higgins needs to have a bounce back. He had a penalty, and he had that fumble. He's got to make up.
Yeah, that was bad.
Hey,
sorry. Here's what they need to win this game. Defensive turnovers, dominant defensive line. If they do that, they will win this game.
And they need to avoid going down early like they did, like they've done. Like maybe get out to a fast start. Maybe if you're given the opportunity to receive the opening kickoff, take it and put up some points.
Yeah, Ryan, I am jagging off. This is the Jags. Jags, I just Liam Cohen, Duval, everybody made fun of him. Poised to make the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get to your super chats. Sickening. Back to back from Shaft, $10. Thank you so much.
Shaft?
For some reason, I'm not able to post a chat. Uh-oh. Let's see if I can at least do a super chat. We sure can use some good news of any kind today. What say you? And then this one. The last time this happened, I wasn't able to. This isn't funny. I'm just laughing because we don't need to send this in a super chat. You can DM us, chat. The last time this happened, I wasn't able to post in the chat for almost 2 weeks. Oh, no. We're going to have to send Noah to his house. I must be on some type of probation because I called Betsy and Dr. Evil. Help. We sure can use a win this week.
Where are you reading that?
It's in the chat from earlier. He sent in $20. Noah can't.
Okay. Okay.
Are all the super chats from Shaft today? All right. Hang on. There's another one from Shaft, $5. There's still a lot of football left to be played, and we could get as high as the 5th pick. Tennessee has Cam, so trade up Monty, do your magic, Mendoza. I would love Fernando Mendoza. I don't know if I would give up the cost, which would be like 3 1s. I don't know if that's ever worked, but man, I just would love for the Cardinals to be able to pick him outright. That's not going to happen, though.
Yeah, it'd be steep price to pay, but if you're looking at the need, you're looking at what's available, you'd be hard pressed to pass on Mendoza if you can get up there and get him.
Shaft again. If we somehow did get up around the 5th pick with the number 1 pick, doesn't need a QB, we trade our first, for 2027 for Mendoza. I think he's going
to still be a lot more expensive than that.
Yeah. So look at the package that Panthers gave up. Look at the package, but again, I think these teams now, it's like I like Mendoza a lot. The trade up for Bryce Young and the trade up for what's his name just has not worked out. I mean, these Trey Lance, these QB trade ups, they just they're different though. I think there's enough from Mendoza, like Mendoza, say versus Bryce Young. You don't have the size disparity with Mendoza versus Trey Lance. There's a longer resume of throwing the football. Remember, Trey Lance had thrown the ball like under 450 times from high school through college. Like that's not the case with Mendoza. And you know, like Fernando Mendoza, like it's not like you like the skill set, you like the size, and then also what we're seeing as far as just between the ears, he seems like he's got it together. What about
he seems like he has a high floor. As far as how high the ceiling goes for Mendoza, I think that's the biggest question.
Cam Ward's got 6 touchdowns, 6 picks this year. Tennessee take Mendoza over Cam Ward.
I mean, we've seen teams pivot, like the team we cover off a first-round quarterback, but not 1-1. Not 1-1. I think you got to give Cam Ward a shot with a coach and put some people around him.
Lamar Washington, 6977, $5. If the Cardinals win, JG deserves to spike his insulin with a Circle K sweet treat.
What would you pick?
If I could pick anything?
Yeah.
Well, I will have on Thanksgiving, I will do pumpkin pie, but then I will also, my sister-in-law makes
Circle K.
Oh, from Circle K. I'm sorry. I thought just in general. Probably Nerds Gummy Clusters. That's like I'm a big fan of those.
Those are really good.
Those are I like the traditional stuff. I like Score bars. I like Heath. I'm an old man in that sense, but
toffee guy.
Yeah, big toffee guy. I really like Nerds Gummy Clusters now. My son had a bunch of them. I just ate them all. He's like, "What happened to my Nerds?" I'm like, "I don't know." Your sister took
we were robbed.
Heath bar?
Yeah, like Heath Blizzard is the GOAT.
Oh,
T. Cleary, $4.99. I want people to play like Michael Wilson and Trey. Want some fight and some pride.
Give me another 200-yard game for Mike, so we can start talking about Mike as a 1,000-yard receiver this year. Those if you're gonna lose, get Trey and Mike like big years. Then Marv comes back and just if you're gonna lose, just throw for 600 yards a game. Get those guys stats. I love Michael Wilson. We have always been a staunch defender. He was a part of this program. He's a good player, and people were like, he can't play. And it's like that.
Go get Amari Cooper.
That's where say something without getting in trouble here. That's where like the Kyler Murray stuff is hard to defend when Kyler Murray. Michael Wilson was never getting the ball with Kyler Murray. Now, was that a byproduct of the offense? Maybe, I have no idea, but Michael gets the ball now with Jacoby, and so does Marv, and so does Trey. Like that, you've talked to me about this off air. Like the Cardinals become like relevant for fantasy football, and like that's a win. As pathetic as that is, and it is pathetic.
No, I mean you got to get eyes on the organization, grow some fans outside of Arizona, and it's like, hey, Michael Wilson helped me to the fantasy football playoffs, and Trey McBride's gonna win me the fantasy playoffs outright. That's the kind of stuff where you can kind of, grow your fan base. And I think that's important. It's not huge, but it also, like, if Michael Wilson continues to have a good run with Marv out, it creates, hopefully future matchup problems for the Cardinals, and the defense has to pay and focus some attention on players outside of your top 2 targets.
He's 150 yards roughly away from his career high. He's going to pass his career high.
He should hit 500 yards receiving for a 3rd consecutive season.
And he's going to have 6 games left, and he's got an outside shot at 1,000 yards. Well, we're just going to have to see. We know the Cardinals are going to be down in a lot of these games in the second half.
Yeah.
Jump back to these super chats, Bo.
Cruz, $4.99. If the Cardinals lose the rest of the year and get destroyed in those losses, does JG safe seat change at all?
Yes. I think if they have games like, if they lose out and then they have games like the last 2 weeks, like sprinkled in, and it looks like they've quit, 100%. And Gannon wouldn't be able to defend it. He would tell. I mean,
yeah.
But I don't think, Cruz, that's going to happen. I think you'll get, I think they'll be competitive this weekend. I think they've got 1 or 2 more wins left on the roster. I think somebody phrased it to me earlier today. It's like there was the rebuild. This is going to make people barf in their mouth. There was the rebuild with Kyler, and then now there's going to be the rebuild post Kyler. But the only thing that's going to change is Kyler Murray. I think they're now. It's not a full blown rebuild, but you got a top 5 to 7 pick. It's like, okay, we need it. Now it's a true reset. How do we fix this? And Michael Bidwill trusts Monti, Ossenfort, and Jonathan Gannon to do it.
Let's keep going. Desert Vulture. I appreciate being anonymous, Johnny and Bo.
You do you, Desert Vulture. We won't out you.
Who do you think it is?
You are. Desert Vulture.
Gannon, is that you?
JG blinked twice. Mr. Raider here. 95. Cardinals, Jags 10.
Cardinals 95, Jags 10.
The last competitive game this team played was out of the division, was against the Packers. It was at home. I think we all expect the Cardinals to be competitive. Here's where they'll lose me. If they're not competitive Sunday, it's like what? I don't even know what they say at that point.
Right.
And then you have 3 non-competitive games. We're chalking the non-competitiveness up to like you play 2 teams in your division that are going to the playoffs. Like the Jags are a fringe playoff team in the AFC right now.
When we talked to Baldy and Kurt, they haven't been like too impressed with the Jags this season.
Baldy does not like Trevor Lawrence. Like he thinks that they win kind of despite of him. I agree with that. He's 11-8. Yeah. I think they're very much in the same spot that the Cardinals were with Kyler. It's just like, okay, let's have this quarterback, makes a lot of money. He wasn't drafted by these people, but we like him. He's a good teammate. He's got some plus, attributes, his arm, his mobility. But like the difference is Liam Cohen is winning. Now, I do think like when you play in that division, the schedule that they played, I mean, like who are the best teams they've beaten? They've obviously beaten the Chiefs this year. They've beaten the 49ers, right?
Chargers are good. Like what they did to the Chargers last week was
very impressive.
Yeah.
But they've lost to the Seahawks and the Rams and the Texans. They blew a game to the Texans. They barely beat the Raiders. They lost to the Bengals earlier this year. I mean, they're a Jekyll and Hyde team for sure. They could easily come into State Farm Stadium and lay an egg.
Yeah. I mean, what Baldy said to us yesterday was at least they have an identity. It's like, can you take that identity away? Can you force this team that's kind of relatively new to the scene to try to win a different way? And that's on JG, that's on Rollis to do that tomorrow on Sunday.
Think about like Trayvon Walker out, Brian Thomas Jr. out, Travis Hunter out.
Yeah.
I mean, like they're not making excuses, This is a pivotal game for the like people are out for blood with this coaching staff. The only way you change it is you come out and you win a game like this and you quiet the noise for a week. I mean, think about like the Dallas game did a lot for this fan base for 5 days and then it was gone. Then it disappeared. We're not going anywhere though. Hit that like button, subscribe. Sunday, a banner day for the show. We return to full coverage, pre-halftime, post-game show. And and we will do another watch along. Bo is going to be at the stadium, so I will be joined in studio by, of course, Noah Man, Espo, and Mr. Britton Golden making his return to the program. So we'll have you covered wall to wall, Bo.
BG is back. I'm hopefully in the stadium for a dub. You'll obviously get my my pregame takes and my postgame takes, and we'll have postgame pressers, quarterback, JG, all that good stuff.
Those are can't miss right now. those postgame after the game, they're can't miss. And again, here's where I'm at with this. Whether it's good football, bad football, we only got 7 weeks of pro football left in the Valley. So if you would, please spend it with your boys at PHNX Cardinals.
Heard some really nice things from our GM. Said that we're growing. We continue to grow. This audience continues to grow. The way we do that is because of you. Hitting that like button as much as you guys do. It gets us in front of more Cardinals fans that want to know about their favorite team, win or lose. There's a lot of losing going on and what's happening with this team. So hit that like button for your fellow Cardinal fans so they can find us and continue to grow this thing. And we can just be a big, happy family in spite of all the dysfunction. For Johnny Venerable and Noah, I'm Bo Brack. We'll talk to you Sunday morning. Enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you then. PHNX Cardinals.
We all silly like the mayor.